Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear community. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. Before we begin, let's take a moment to raise our hands to the Almighty. Ya Allah, you who are the light of the heavens and the earth, open our hearts to the understanding of your signs. Grant us the wisdom to see what you place in our path and the patience to wait for what is written for us. Ameen. Have you ever felt a silent calling in your heart? An inexplicable sensation that seems to guide you towards a specific person? This is not a simple coincidence. Allah places signs before us, but are we really ready to see them? In the Holy Quran, Allah tells us, "We will show them our signs in the universe and within themselves, until it becomes evident to them that this is the truth." Quran 41:53. The signs of Allah are never in vain. They manifest themselves in different forms: inner serenity, disturbing coincidences, trials that test our patience, and even dreams. But too often, we pass by without recognizing them. Before you go any further, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Each video is an opportunity to grow together in faith and to better understand the message of Allah. Stay tuned until the end, because we're going to explore some deep truths that could change your perception of the signs that Allah sends you. Perhaps you have already received a sign without even knowing it. Are you ready to open your heart? So let's dive into this spiritual journey together. Destiny is an invisible road, woven by the hand of Allah. He shapes the paths of souls long before they meet, long before they even know they are made for each other. Some souls wander for a long time, others seem to collide hurriedly. But behind each encounter, there is divine wisdom. The story of two travelers, an encounter written long before their birth. Imagine two souls, each walking in a desert of solitude. They pray to Allah, silently begging Him to grant them a traveling companion. One walks towards the east, the other towards the west. Day after day, they move forward without knowing that their prayer has already been answered, that their meeting is recorded long before they even raise their hands to the sky. The sun beats down hard on their tired faces. Their hope crumbles with each step, but something pushes them to continue. And then, one day, when destiny has drawn a point of convergence, they stop under the same tree, attracted by its beneficial shadow. The gaze of one meets that of the other. There are no words, no explanation, just a silence filled with understanding. At this precise moment, something deep inside them whispers, "It's no coincidence." And Allah had already told them long before that day. And it is He who created a human being from water and made him a descendant by marriage and marriage. Your Lord is omnipotent. Quran 25:54. It takes time to understand that some souls are bound by a force far beyond what the human mind can conceive. Allah orchestrates every detail, every glance, every word exchanged with subtlety and perfection. The signs that you are on the path that God has written for you. Allah does not leave His servants blind. He sends signs, clues, but it is up to us to perceive them. Sometimes we are too distracted to see what is right in front of us. Yet these signs are there, obvious to those who have faith and a caring heart. 1. An inexplicable peace. When this person enters your life, your heart calms down. There is no stress, worry, or constant doubt. It's as if an internal storm has calmed down. Allah brings a serenity into sincere relationships that no words can describe. Those who believe and whose hearts are tranquilized at the mention of Allah. Is it not by the evocation of Allah that hearts are tranquilized? Quran 13:28. This tranquility is not just a feeling. It is an echo of your soul, which recognizes in the other a fragment of the destiny that Allah had written for you. A path that crosses naturally. No matter how many times you lose track of each other, your paths always seem to come together. Perhaps you have lived separate lives, gone in opposite directions. But Allah always brings back destined souls to meet again. How many times have we heard these stories of two people who cross paths years later, after 1,000 detours, and realized that they were always meant to be together? The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Souls are like troops gathered together. Those who recognize each other attract each other, and those who do not recognize each other repel each other." Sahih al-Bukhari 30-36. There is no coincidence, only the hand of Allah which shapes time and space to bring together what must be united. Reflection. Question. What about you? Have you ever felt an inexplicable connection with someone without being able to explain it? Have you ever felt like someone was placed in your path for a divine reason? Some would say these are just coincidences. But believers know that coincidences are only miracles of which Allah chooses to remain anonymous. Love is a test. It is not a straight line, but a winding path, sometimes strewn with doubts, obstacles, and sacrifices. Too often we believe that a soulmate is supposed to be a gentle, conflict-free presence, a smooth love, an encounter that flows like a quiet river. But the truth is quite different. Allah tests relationships, not to break them, but to purify them. Harun's story. When love becomes a trial. Harun was a pious man. From a young age, he asked Allah to grant him a woman who would not only be his wife, but also his companion in faith, the one who would help him get closer to his Lord. Then he met Amina. He felt something inexplicable in her presence, a mixture of tranquility and uncertainty. They loved each other, but their journey together was not easy. There was distance, family conflicts, differences in temperament. Harun prayed, "Ya Allah, if she is made for me, make our path easy." But instead of things getting better quickly, he felt that every step was a struggle. He wondered, why, if we sincerely love each other, do we have to face so many trials? One day, while meditating on his love and his struggles, he came across this verse from the Quran. It may be that you hate a thing which is good for you, and it may be that you love a thing which is evil for you. Allah knows, but you do not know. Quran 2:116. These words resonated within him like an echo. Perhaps what he saw as a struggle was actually a purification. Perhaps true love is not the absence of trials, but the desire to grow together despite these. Tried, love is strengthened. Love. When we want gold, we must subject it to fire. Without testing, gold remains raw. The same goes for love. Without difficulty, it remains fragile. Trials are the crucible in which Allah tests the sincerity of hearts. But here is a truth that few people accept. Sometimes, what we believe to be our soulmate is just a test in disguise. Signs that this person is a test and not a soulmate. Not all tried and tested relationships are meant to last. Sometimes, Allah puts someone in our path not to stay, but to teach us a lesson. How do you know if this person is a test or a true gift from Allah? 1. It takes you away from your faith. A relationship that pushes you to neglect your prayer, to abandon your obligations to Allah, to justify your sins in His name, is a relationship that does not come from Him. Do not follow in the footsteps of Shaitan, for he is a declared enemy to you. Quran 2:168. If the love you feel pushes you more towards the dunya, this lower world, than towards the akhirah, the beyond, then it is time to ask yourself if this love is a blessing or a distraction. 2. It awakens in you feelings of doubt, jealousy, or constant fear. Love should not be an incessant inner struggle. A healthy relationship, even with trials, brings some emotional stability. If you are always in uncertainty, if your heart is more often in pain than in peace, it is perhaps a sign that Allah is showing you a truth that you refuse to see. 3. You never find common ground despite your prayers. One of the biggest tests of a relationship is the ability to compromise without compromising his dignity or his faith. If, despite all the prayers, despite all the discussions, you never achieve harmony, perhaps it is Allah who is showing you that this is not the right person for you. He only brings them together by His permission, and He separates those whom He wills. He is all-knowing and wise. Quran 24:35. True love, a soul that brings you closer to Allah. There is a story of a man who always asked Allah, "Ya Allah, give me someone who loves me as much as I love him." One day, an old man said to him, "Why do you ask Allah for someone who loves you? Ask instead for someone who loves Him more than you, because he who loves Allah sincerely will also know how to love you with pure love." True love is the one that does not turn you away from Allah, but pushes you to be better for Him. A relationship that distances you from your prayer, your sincerity, your humility, is not love, but a trap. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "When a servant marries, he has completed half of his faith. The other half, let him fear Allah." Reported by Al-Bayhaqi. This means that love is not limited to passion or compatibility. This is a spiritual journey. Reflection. Question. Can you differentiate a relationship that brings you closer to Allah from one that takes you away from Him? Ask yourself today, when you are with this person, do you feel closer to Allah? Does this person remind you to pray, to be humble, to be grateful to your Lord? Does it help you overcome your flaws, or does it fuel them? When you feel doubt, is it a temporary fear or a silent warning from Allah? If a person is destined for you, she will come without you having to force anything. It will bring you closer to Allah, not to shaitan. But if it is a test, Allah will always give you signs. Will you be ready to see them? There exists an invisible kingdom where the language of souls speaks louder than that of words. A place where the past, present and future seem to intersect in bursts of images and sensations. This kingdom is that of dreams. Dreams are not just nighttime illusions. They are sometimes divine messages, fragments of truth sent by Allah to guide our steps. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Wishful dreams are a part of prophecy." Sahih al-Bukhari 6987. We have all experienced those strange nights when an unknown face appears to us insistently, where a feeling of obviousness invades us without explanation. But how many of us really take the time to listen to these signs? Layla's story, a dream that announces a written encounter. Layla was a pious woman, completely devoted to her faith. Since her adolescence, she had often had a recurring dream. She saw a man, always from behind, walking towards the horizon. Sometimes he would turn around and a feeling of peace would fill his heart. But every time I wake up, his face faded like morning mist. Layla didn't understand why she saw this man so often. She had never met anyone who looked like her. Was it just a mirage of his imagination? The years passed, and Layla continued to live her life, almost forgetting these dreams. But one day, while attending a wedding, she met a man she had never seen before. As soon as their eyes met, his heart skipped a beat. It was him. She couldn't explain it. She didn't know his name or his story, but his soul already recognized it. Layla then remembered a verse from the Quran which seemed clearer than ever. Your Lord creates what He wants and chooses what He wants. The choice is not theirs. Glory to Allah, He is far above what they associate with Him. Quran 28:68. Dreams as messengers of Allah. Some dreams are simple reflections of our daily thoughts. Others are pure illusions of the nafs, the ego. But sometimes they are divine messages in disguise. How to recognize these dreams? 1. A repetitive vision of a person in a peaceful context. When Allah wants to send us a message, He insists. If the same person appears several times in your dreams, in calming and bright situations, this could be a sign. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "He who sees me in a dream has truly seen me, for shaitan cannot take my appearance." Sahih al-Bukhari 6994. If shaitan cannot usurp the image of the Prophet, this means that certain visions are pure, protected from lies. They are not the result of chance. A feeling of certainty and tranquility upon waking up. Dreams that come from Allah do not cause fear or confusion. They leave a mark of peace. If, after a dream, you wake up with deep serenity, it may be a sign that Allah wants to show you something. This feeling has nothing to do with the passing excitement of a simple pleasant dream. It's an inner conviction, a silent light that inhabits you. He's the one who brings tranquility into the hearts of believers so that they may increase their faith. Quran 48:4. 3. An answer to a sincere prayer addressed to Allah. Sometimes we pray without knowing if our request has been heard. But Allah always responds, one way or another. Some receive their response in life events, others in dreams. And when my servants ask you about me, then I am near. I answer the call of him who calls on me when he calls on me. Quran chapter 2, 186. If you asked Allah for a sign on a person, and that He shows it to you in a dream filled with light and serenity, perhaps that is His answer. Intuitions. When the soul guesses before the mind. Dreams are not the only way Allah speaks to us. Sometimes He whispers to our hearts. You've probably already felt this strange feeling when meeting someone, a silent certainty that this person will play a role in your life, an inexplicable calm in His presence, as if your soul recognized His, a slight thrill, a deep instinct that tells you that this meeting is not a coincidence. These are not simple emotions. These are divine signals. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Fear the intuition of the believer, for he sees with the light of Allah." Sunan at-Tirmidhi, 127. There are truths that our minds cannot immediately understand, but that our soul sense with disconcerting clarity. For Allah never leaves His servants blind. When Allah shows you someone, but the time has not yet come, what if Allah showed you a person, not for now, but for later? Sometimes we see someone in our dreams or feel a strong connection, but circumstances do not allow union. This does not mean the message was false. This means that the time has not yet come. Everything happens in its appointed time. Quran 13:38. If this person is written for you, Allah will bring her back into your life at the perfect time. Reflection. Question. What about you? Have you ever dreamed of someone who turned out to be important later in your life? Have you ever felt an inexplicable connection, like your soul recognized another before you even understood why? Maybe Allah has already given you answers, but are you ready to see them? There is a stubborn illusion in our hearts, the one that pushes us to believe that our soulmate is a reward external to ourselves, that it is a gift that Allah will give us one day, without us having to question ourselves. More, what if a soulmate was not someone to find, but something to become? The story of a man who was looking for the perfect soulmate. Once upon a time, there was a pious young man, sincere in his faith, but preoccupied by a deep desire. Find the perfect woman. Every day, he prayed, Ya Allah, send me a pious, beautiful, gentle, understanding wife. A woman who will support me in my faith and make me happy. But the years passed, and he couldn't find anyone who really suited him. One day, in despair, he went to see an imam and said to him, I've tried everything. I'm looking for a godly woman, but they're either already taken or aren't interested in me. Why won't Allah give me this blessing? The imam looked at him for a moment, smiled, then asked him a simple question. You want a godly wife, but are you a godly man? The young man remained silent. The imam continues, You are looking for the ideal woman, but have you worked to become the ideal man? Don't just pray to receive someone good. Pray to become someone good. Because Allah does not place a pious woman in the hands of a careless man. He gives souls what suits them. Then he quoted this verse from the Quran. Bad women are for bad men, and bad men are for bad women, and good women are for good men, and good men are for good women. Quran 24:26. The young man then understood that his error was not in his prayer, but in his approach. He spent his time to wait for, when he should have spent his time prepare. Prepare for love before receiving it. Love is not a simple connection between two hearts. It is a spiritual responsibility. Before asking Allah to send you someone, first ask yourself, is my heart ready to welcome this love with wisdom? Am I ready to be a companion who helps others get closer to Allah? Am I already the person I want to marry? Many people want a blessed marriage. But how many are willing to do the inner work to earn that blessing? The keys to attracting the right person. 1. Purify your intention. Ask Allah to guide you towards what is good for you. When looking for a partner, it's easy to only focus on what you want. But Allah knows better than us what is really good for us. There is a difference between wanting someone and want what is best for you according to Allah. It may be that you love a thing which is bad for you, and it may be that you hate a thing which is good for you. Allah knows, but you do not know. Quran 2:16. Say this sincere prayer. Ya Allah, do not give me what I desire, but give me what is best for me, even if I do not understand it yet. When you purify your intention, Allah, get away from what is not good for you and get closer to what is. 2. Work on your heart and your faith. Be the kind of person you would like to marry. If you want someone pious, are you pious? If you want someone honest, are you honest? If you want someone patient, have you learned to be patient? A soulmate isn't just a matter of destiny, it's a matter of spiritual preparation. Look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. If Allah decided to send me my soulmate today, would I really be ready? The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Marriage is half of faith, reported by Al-Bayhaqi. This hadith does not only mean that marriage is a great blessing, it also means that it requires a lot of preparation. 3. Trust in divine wisdom. What is meant for you will come, even if it seems impossible today. Too often we get carried away by impatience. We want everything right away. But true love, that which is blessed by Allah, comes at the perfect time. You won't find him running after him. You won't find it by trying to force fate. You will find it when Allah has decided that your heart is ready. Everything happens in its appointed time. Quran 13:38. Watch the story of Layla and Harun. Look at these couples who meet after years of waiting. Look at these souls who thought they would never find love, but who received it when they no longer expected it. If Allah has promised you a person, she will come. If Allah has taken you away from someone, it was not written for you. There are no errors in the divine decree. Reflection question. Are you ready to receive the love that Allah has planned for you? Today, instead of asking, when will I meet my soulmate? Ask yourself, am I becoming the best version of myself? Am I ready to receive the love I ask for? Is my heart pure enough to be a refuge and not a test for others? Because when you are ready, Allah will send you exactly what your soul needs. Allah sends you signs every moment. Listen to them, observe them, and above all, trust His timing. A soulmate is not the one who arrives when you want it, but the one who arrives when Allah wants it. Last verse to meditate on, and put your trust in Allah. Allah loves those who trust in Him. Quran 3:159. If this video spoke to you, share it with those who are still waiting for their sign. And above all, remember, if Allah put this video in front of your eyes, it may also be a sign.